Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, where your boy is continuing to build his transportation company in the United Kingdom. Now we're witnessing this vehicle right now, which is currently driving around our brand new highway that loops London, which is known as the M25. And while it hasn't solved the majority of all of our traffic issues within London, it's kind of really eased a lot of the burden with some of the vehicles that want to kind of travel around London, and it's really helped us out. We're starting to see a lot more people utilizing the roads, which is good. Every vehicle that uses it is one less one driving through the center of London. But we're going to try and take a look at London this episode one more time, because I want to build another train line through it. Now you may be wondering, wait, what? Trust me, this is going to be a good one. Now, what I want to try and tackle this time is the city's destinations, okay? So, for example, if I pick Ipswich and I go to destinations, and it pretty much tells us where all the people in the city kind of want to go or have the ability to go, or where they're willing to travel, and how much of the line usage am I utilizing. So you can see here they want to go to Cambridge and Canterbury, which is Cambridge is just up here, Canterbury is just down here, and I'm not utilizing any of lines to bring them to those destinations. So it means all the people here are going to either drive to it. Well, they are going to drive to it. And what means and routes they use is just whatever they feel is the quicker route. Now, if I go all the way down, you got Ipswich thrown in. London's a big one. Now, London's so big, you can see that's why we've got the backlog leading into it. So I need to start figuring out how I can bring lines into London to make life a little bit easier. Same with Canterbury. Now, even though Canterbury has the ability to go to London, it goes to London kind of technically indirect, to where we only have 2% of all the people wanting to go there going there, because they have to go on the train to Brighton, off the Brighton train and all the way through. But then again, it might not be the destination in which they want to go to. It might be they want to go on this side of London, where they have to then get on a bus route, and it becomes a very long-winded process, so it's quicker for them to just drive in. So this is my proposal. I'm going to create on this side of the London the exact same thing I've done on the west side. So the east side is going to have a two-stop elevated line going through, but the line will turn off and go through Ipswich and then turn around in Norwich. And then from this side, it will crisscross over the Canterbury station. I'm telling you boys, we're going to have the most intertwined, interconnected and most efficient train routes, or train companies, ever. It's going to be really good. Now, the reason I want to do this is it kind of kills two birds with one stone. Ipswich, Canterbury, having a direct access to London. London, this side of the right side of London, having good train route and connection. It also could mean if I got these two elevated there, what if I then loop them and create a small little commuter line going round and round? I know, crazy. Because the problem is, London, for some reason, I don't know why, is huge. Target population 2,700. It's a struggle to get a city to 1,500 in vanilla, but some reason London is on steroids right now. So I think it really might help out, and we might see a big reduction in a lot of the vehicle traffic. Plus, there's a lot of demand for this route, so it would mean I make so much money. I'm then hooking up Ipswich and Norwich, two brand new cities. So if you are enjoying this series, guys, and want to see more, then make sure you smash that like button down below. If you're new in here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when more episodes do come out. Now, I will say, I'm starting to get quite a bit of cash now, okay, at this point. We did play around with adding new trains, upgrading current trains. Our Southern Line actually has 2 trains currently on it. I will eventually go through and revamp all the lines, but I want to build this one because this is going to be the big test day, and it's how I approach all the other cities. So, first things first then, we need to build our elevated train stations. I know, crazy, right? Crazy, and at the same time, very exciting. Very exciting. So, I won't position them the exact same latitude and longitude, or latitude, or whatever you want to call it, like in line. They might be slightly staggered for the city's benefits and where the line then needs to turn off to go in. So they might be a little bit closer together than these two stations currently are to themselves. So train lines, buildings, we need the elevated passenger line. Now, before we pull it in, let's just pause the game. And we're going to kind of get to grips with what we've currently got. So a 160 in terms of length should be okay. Place platform roofs, I don't mind that. Height, we'll play around with the height. And pillars, normal. Oh, I'm only now just realising we can place in pillars. What an absolute noob. What an absolute noob. So, I want it to kind of be around here. And what side of this bridge? I reckon we should be on the inside of the bridge slightly. So, oh, I think that's the reason why I didn't have any spaced. Yeah. But that's the reason why I didn't have any pillars, because I need it to be slightly spaced out so I don't have that problem creeping up on me. So if I place that here, it's going to cost me 2.3 million. Wow. 2.5 million, 2.8. Where's the 2.5? There we go. Place you in. Very expensive, but that should be a reasonable position right now. Reasonable elevation. To put the building along the side. So let me just make sure I can put the building in. Because that's also the other big problem in this game. Is the actual buildings. Now, building in. Oh, it doesn't actually quite touch. Maybe I'm a little bit too far away to all I need it to be. But that should work out fairly well. So I'm going to throw in one here. And one there. It's a good way to spread the radius. So you can see the radius in which it now collects. Ridiculous, right? Absolutely ridiculous. We're going to get so many people on this train line. And we've got to apply the same logic to one over here as well. Now, this one's a little bit more difficult because, like on the other side, the terrain is leveling up a bit. We're on this side here, so we're looking about here. So we just got to be a bit careful of where it's all going to run. So if I do a 5, even at a 5, we're a bit too low. A 10. Because I'm trying not to cause absolute chaos when it comes to running this line in. So I reckon about there. Now we've got to make sure that this also touches the ground for the buildings. Which it just about does. So we have to do some skinnier variations of it. Right, that touches it. I'm gonna do a double no matter what. Gives us a great radius. Which the radius almost touches, don't they? They almost... Yeah, there's a couple of buildings there which can have the option to go to one or the other. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? So now we've got to get this all connected. So that will eventually bend out this way and then go down and go over the top of one of that stations. This is going to come out, turn in. I'm not sure which side of Ipswich we're going to run on. I don't know if it's going to have an elevated. It might just pass through as a normal ground station. I don't know just yet. So let me first start with this one because we now need to build the elevated tracks. So we need 4 in total. Now it does mean that we are going to destroy some of the buildings again. But don't worry, it's London. Trust me. It will grow back. Platforms. There we go. The underpasses, one in just there. Now, buildings. It always helps to throw an additional building on. If possible. Because it gives us maybe an extra few buildings on that side to connect to and also a shorter route. So it all works out. Now, I did the same on this one. It is a tough one. It is fairly tough to build like this. My biggest concern right now is making sure I can get the elevated platforms, the lines to now link, because that is considered quite high and it's going to be quite the drop, and it's going to delete quite a few buildings at the same time. Right, we've already got an underpass on the one side. So building wise, can we squeeze in one more connection? Yes. And we'll leave it like that. So London will grow back. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Now, before we do all the kind of crissy-crossies and all that kind of jazz, we're going to first see if I can run this directly in, which I can. No way is that going to cost me 12 million. No way in this world. Right. 6 million for that bridge. 8 million for that. Right, we need to do some type of a bridge, but the problem is... the bars are slightly in the way. Now, if you go slightly to the left there, and then maybe bend it in, you can get away with not having to pay the ridiculous amounts of cash, but also the pillars. Well, I say the pillars. It worked to a certain extent. So is the pillar problem going to be going all the way through? So we can at least go to there. Does that then run in? Okay, that works. So there's a certain part where it becomes an issue. Interesting. So where is the pillar having the problem? I wish you could choose where it was. It could be the terrain down below. So if I up this, this will be the only issue that we kind of have. Oh, I don't think we're going to get much out of that. Wow, okay. So if I delete this... and then see if I can bring that in. See, all of it is got a pillar bridge issue. Now, what I might have to do is delete this, right? And pray that it all now goes to plan. So smoothing all of that. I know it works to there. And it worked to there for a certain extent until that. And then confirm. Yeah, there we go, boys. We're now all connected in. And we actually have pillars as well, which is crazy. So bring this a little bit out and then cut it in. And then same with this one. Bring it so far out. Cut it in. Do the old Chrissy Crossy. Too much curvature, apparently. Oh no, we could have a problem there. Right. It works there. Phew! I was stressing there. We weren't going to be able to get that done. Now, there's not much room for maneuver now with all of this. How much have I got? I got 15 million remaining. That's how quick the money's disappearing. We don't really have much room for maneuver. And it's a lot shorter distance between those two compared to these two. But London's not as built up around this area, I should say. And plus, we've got to do the turning ins and outs as well. So, there we go. Let me get that road back in that I've now deleted. So, don't worry. London will grow back. It will grow back. Very good, very good, very good. And it would be interesting. Would I create a loop for a commuter loop? That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? It would be pretty cool. So, let's take a look then at Cambridge. Not Cambridge, sorry. Canterbury. And building-wise, elevated. So, we'll have to do... It's going to be very similar to what we're doing in Liverpool. And we'll go to a 20-odd. Now, it's going to be an end station. We have a building just there for a connection. The connection's just there, so it's all okay. And is this the direction that we're kind of leading it in? I reckon it's almost like this. Alright, turn it right round. And if I put that... If I pull it about there... Let's just see how the buildings connect to it. So that will connect wonderfully. That can connect as an end one. And that's probably everything I need it to kind of technically do. That would connect here. So it's only a short walking distance. And like I said, I could have actually done this without having to build this myself. I could have selected it as the options. But I just need to have a separate section of tracks. Do our passenger platform. Now we have an underpass there. We'll throw that in. Buildings wise, there's definitely got to be room to squeeze another building on this side, which there is. And voila. Canterbury is pretty much good to go. So I've now got to try and figure out the route down to here, which is not difficult. It's just expensive. Now, if I ran it straight in, right, just for the funsies, let me see. One, I don't have enough money because of the sheer elevation of it, right? But also, I can change the pricing structure based on the bridge in question. So if it's 1.7, I can use the 1.4 for that, and maybe get it a little bit cheaper. 1.2, but it's all based on speed limits. But this one has a bridge collision issue. So it's sometimes you like I said, you've got to do a bend like this. But I can't get it on that one. It's interesting, to say the least. Oh, no, I didn't mean to delete all that. I didn't mean to delete all that. But then again, it might have actually gone in my favour, me deleting that. So if I go to there... Yeah, I think that might have done me some favour, deleting that. Let me get that connection back in. Oof. Right. I think I've also might have selected a different type of bridge as well. Now, that is going to try and slowly drop down. That to there is in line. But I can't... Oh, I can't. I could build this. Now that's 4.9 million. Taking a million directly off because of the elevation of the bridge and the bridge type. Which it is then doesn't mean it's capped at 75 miles an hour. I'll go with something that's a lot faster. Actually, no, I think it's all capped at that. Now that is 7 million. We're just going to keep to this one. And confirm it. And then run this all the way around and in, which is at 1.9 million. So yeah, from above, it looks like there's a lot of craziness now going on. But it's just how we have to do it, unfortunately. Now, we are spending our money like crazy right now. So it might be a good idea to, one, grow the cities back to what they should have been. And two, get some cash coming in as well, because it's costing us an absolute fortune. So this should be the last then of the most expensive bits. Oh, no, sorry. I've got to make it go to... I've got to make it then elevate over to Ipswich. And then from there, we can have it all on the ground. So it will just cost us normal pennies. Nothing ridiculous. So let's crisscross this. Crissy-crossy. Crissy-crossy. And this just needs a normal crisscross because it's treated as an end route. So nothing crazy needs to go on. So that allows us to have a better direct connection to London, but it also depends on what side of London you want to travel on. Not until I maybe think about getting the commuter route set up, well, they could use any line, but that's going to be quite interesting, isn't it? Oh, I'm kind of excited about this. So let's think about Ipswich then while more money comes into our bank account. Now, I've got the ability to make it go down the left side or the right side. It really does not matter what side we make it go in. And I think for Norwich, we'll probably make it connect as an end route just there. Now, I could bring more train lines down this way, but that's a headache for another day. My only problem is we've also got to crisscross over the cargo line. So where's it better? Is it better to make it run through Ipswich? If I made it run through Ipswich, I'll have better coverage for the city, but I have to pay the money to delete. I could elevate it through Ipswich, but it's again building another bridge, but then again I have to have it elevated up until... I mean, I might be able to make it go into a tunnel, but then again, it's going to be elevated no matter what, and that's going to be super expensive, seeing as how much we paid for this little swoosh. But the lower it is, the cheaper it is, so it hasn't got to be like too high in the sky. So I might make it go through the centre of Ipswich is probably the better option. So I'm going to have to pause, and how much to delete this? So I'm just looking at the money to delete this, which is going to be fairly expensive, versus having it elevated for Ipswich. It'd probably cost about the same amount because I've still got to delete stuff. But then I've got to pay for an elevated train line. I could do it on the outskirts and do a bus route like what I've done with Cambridge. But you can see the coverage it gives us. Oh, sorry, I haven't done a bus route in Cambridge. I've done it like in places like Reading, where the bus routes kind of expand. That's probably a better idea, isn't it? Yeah, it would be the cheaper option. So it means this is going to come out and bend. I can bring it down this way, or I can make it go up this way. It all depends on how I want to build this. I might make it go this way, which means I might change how the city here builds itself. So I might build it on a diagonal basis. So like that to then like that. For this to run like that. So now we've got this diagonal section where I run the train line on it. So passenger station. Flip it right round. I'm going to pull it over to here to give us a bit of space. So we get decent coverage in general, but we would really need a bus route. But it saves us a lot of headache in the future. So let's quickly configure this anyway, because then I also need to re-link up the road line. So then we need platforms. I need then the miscellaneous for the underpass section, because we've already got one over on that side. And then we're going to connect it all up. So what we'll do here is we'll bring this out. And how far to elevate it? Is that enough to then elevate up and over? It would be if you get it just right. But the pillar stuff is then becoming the issue again. But I reckon... Oh, there we go. So run that to there. Run this one with it. Okay, that's sorted then. Right, make this a little bit longer because it is a smaller station. Just give us a little bit of space to play with. In case we've been bypassing trains. There we go. So then same coming out. So I bring it to about there, then I'll merge it in here. Because it also might help us with the road network. So bring it out a little, just straight enough right now. Are we going, where are we losing? Holy moly. I was trying to do some type of elevation climb there, wasn't it? Just so I can get the crisscross in. There we go. So let me just divert back to the road situation. So my options are here. I could do a crisscross somewhere. But I think it then kind of messes... I'm going to delete this whole little triangle business. So if I went to here and then drove straight through. And then straight across like that. It's where the grid meets the triangle. So this is what we're going to utilize to kind of connect into there. So delete back a bit. And the city stays connected, so to speak, and then we've just got to try and conform all of those. So we can now go back into play mode now, because I haven't really messed anything up too much. And the city's still connected, they can still do what they've got to do. Just got to get this train station in here next. So this is... I was going to bring it down this way, but I'm now thinking about bringing it out that way, so it goes up, out, and then down this way. So the train line does run this way, wherever it goes. The line's set up straight for it to go directly out. So, N passenger terminal, tracks 2, should get the 2 platforms. That's all I literally want it to do. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Now, I've got a couple of options in terms of where I can place it. But I reckon about... Well, what I'll do first is we'll bring a road down ever so slightly. And a road slightly out to where this would bend in like that. Alright, just slightly grow the city a bit. So my station then goes here. And we'll try and do it in the center. Which is, again, hopefully enough where we can put passenger buildings on the side. Now we need the smaller of the ones. Whole reason for that is, and if I do one on this side as well, connectivity. Connectivity to the city a bit more. There we go. And that there, okay, it doesn't quite connect in as well. So I'll delete that one and place a larger one in. Very good, boys. Very good. Very good. So that gives us a larger, collection to Norwich, but it still would require a bus route. So back to the tracks then. Now you may be wondering, you're probably asking the question now, Sonic, why are you using the standard tracks? Isn't it time that you start switching to the high-speed rail? I could do, yeah. My only issue is now is the trains aren't really travelling that far of a distance to warrant getting up to that speed. There's some instances where it makes sense, like from Cambridge to Birmingham, we can make this all high speed. And it's another thing on my plans and lists to do of stuff that I need to implement at some point. So it is on my list. Don't worry. It is on my list of things to do. Now, I'm going to bend this round like this because the idea is it will eventually go straight as well. So I'm just now going to connect this up to there. And then run the whole of that line directly into there. Now, I don't know if I can do the crisscross before. It's probably best to do it after. Like that. Done. So leading all the way down now up to Norwich through Ipswich is all good to go. And I'm hoping I've now saved enough money that I can now pay for this bridge. Oh, this is going to be my next big problem. So if I went all the way over like this, I could build that straight away. It's not an issue and it only deletes the buildings there. That actually could work out. That's actually worked out fairly easy. Wow. Granted, the one thing I should have done is maybe change the bridge type, but I'm hoping it's connected to this bridge type anyway. Oh, that's gone a little bit too easy. I don't like how easy that's now just come together. So a little bit further out. So my next headache is now being able to afford the train that's going to run on this route. That's my next big headache. What's going on here, boys? I want to connect in. And crisscross. Boom. So we've got to do the signals next. Now, we're only going to have one train on this route. But I always get the signals done. Because then it's one less thing you got to think of in the future. So just before you enter the station. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. We'll go bam, bam. And then just before you enter there. So that little run there is then complete. So here. Here. And then there. This one's quite straightforward. The smallest one in the world. And then just here. Here. There. And we want just there. So the signals are now all in. So London, with the sheer size that it now is, I have deleted a lot of stuff, but the target population, even though I've deleted, the target population has now got up to 90%. 2790. It's gone up an extra 90 people. So that's going to be quite an interesting run. And it now connects up 2 brand new cities as well, and gives kind of Canterbury a little bit of like an alleviation, which is fairly good. Yeah, it's making sure it's the same. You get 2 icons on both sides. So we're ready to do this then. The only problem is I need the train depot. And then I reckon we need about 20 million to be able to... Hold on. Game's at a meltdown. To be able to afford the train that I would want. That's what I reckon anyway. Right. Let's create this route. So a new line. And make sure that we're on the right platform. Coming into London. Bam, bam. Wah-bam. Wah-bam. And then back again. And then back again. So I'll make this green. So we can see it a bit better. Now it's green. Got to make sure it's on the right sides, coming in and out. So this is our London Annex. So London Annex. Switch these both round because they drive on the right. I don't know why, but we're in the UK and we're driving on the right. London Central. I think that one's fine. I think it's this one that's got a switch right. Yep. Ipswich is all good. Leading in, so I always want it to go on the platform that it exits from on the side. That's how I always want it to work, and it works perfectly on all of this. So this is actually our Canterbury to Norwich. So Canterbury, Norwich, Norwich. There we go. Canterbury to Norwich. Bam. All good. All good. All good. So I've just now got to buy the train for that line. Now, it's going to take away some passengers from the Southern line slightly. The ones that would have used to gone to Canterbury to Brighton to switch into the London line. So it will take some away that would have do this route. And it will take a few people away from this one. But it's not going elsewhere. I've got to change where the bus routes also kind of connect, but we're going to see how much it takes away from the vehicle traffic setting this up first. So let's buy the train first then, and it's going to be diesel. It's going to be this one, passenger. Now we'll go, so it's 33 a pop, 132. Do you reckon that's a little bit too much, or do you reckon that will see us through for quite some while? I reckon it could see us through for quite some while, I reckon. Or, actually, I might take one off and do a 99. I'll do a 99 capacity. And see how we get on. We'll see how we get on first with that. Because I want some extra money to do all the bus routes yet. So, let's buy that. Let's whack it on a new Canterbury to Norwich route. Out it comes. And off it goes. So... it'll take a little bit of time then for them to now realise what is now possible with these routes. But this is really exciting. So we'll have to sort out the bus route. Technically, that station there connects to this one, so we're okay. We've got multiple bus stops here that connect. So at the moment, I'm not too stressed about moving the bus routes. Not too stressed just yet. And then places like Norwich, we don't need to sort the... oh, no, I keep calling this Norwich. It's Ipswich. We're going to sort out these bus routes. So bus tram stop. Right, start on this side. So we just wanted to kind of gracefully go through the city or around the city to pick up and collect everybody as much as possible. And I reckon we'll go there. No, we'll go here. I reckon that's all we need to do, because each station connects in the middle. It all overlaps in that little area just there, so it works out wonderful, that one does. So complete this loop, change it to, we'll go blue, and we'll call this then, it's not Norwich, it's Ipswich. Ipswich loop. There we go. And then we'll need a road depot. Now I could sneak the road depot from down here. Is there much traffic to get over there? There isn't actually not that much traffic. Passenger wise, ooh, we've got a couple of different variations of buses now. This one holds 26, so do you reckon 1 or 2? I'll buy 1. I feel like 1's more than enough. And that will complete the loop there. Take everybody to the actual train station. There's a few people already waiting as well, so that's kind of good to see. But now we got the bus route connected, it will give us even more of a reason to connect. So it's already got 4 people on board. And then it will take some time to see the benefits coming through. So Norwich then, same thing for this. We kind of need to sort out the bus route. So bending you around, I'm going to finish up some of the road connections. Just for it to make a little bit more sense of a bus route. So then building wise, we'll put the bus stop just there, that's fine. Run it down to here. Now how far do they spread? And about there. I'm going to come in just there in that little turn. For it then to hopefully drive round and out. If it all goes to plan, that is. I've just gone there to kind of collect more in the middle radius area as well. So another new route. It's got 16 people waiting at Norwich already. And then we'll make this one a red. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And this is the actual Norwich. The Norwich loop, baby. And this city here is not connected to any other place via road. So it's an untapped area. So this will be quite a busy place. So road depot. I'm going to put it just over here out the way. And I'll do the same again. I'll buy one of these buses, 26 capacity. See how we get on. So where's Norwich? Norwich loop. There we go. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. So it's gradually now just giving it time. So there's the train. It's now picked up 73 people. Off it now goes. There's already starting to be a decent amount of people now waiting at the station. So as this now comes in, do many people get on and off? Now got 90 people on board. And this next stop should be the most busiest one on the route. That's my feeling towards it anyway. Apparently not. But it's where the most people get off. So that's probably why I'm thinking it'll be quite busy. So we're just going to give this a little bit of time then, to just kind of see how it evolves, basically. But I think the 99 capacity is okay at the moment. And let it do what it's got to do. Let it do what it's got to do. Now, will we see a reduction in vehicle traffic? Well, there's not that many people now coming down this road. You can see the junction's now about to clear up. But only time will tell. This is now all clear and free. The backlog that used to come around to here is now starting to die down. So you could argue yes. The answer is yes. But you gotta wait for the backlog of vehicles to move. Look at the backlog here as well. So this is them coming from Oxford to get to London. See, that's crazy on its own. It's why we would need other connecting routes eventually. Redonkulous. But the backlog then builds back up, so you kind of can't win in a weird way. You kind of can't win, but we'll see how this evolves. Every person using it is one less person driving their vehicles. So in terms of London, is what we're looking at right now. The London, that is slowly going to increase. You just got to give it more time to shift more people. But hopefully it turns out to be quite the profit, this line. So in terms of finances, it's already running a profit this year so far. This year so far is becoming a little bit of a profit. It's about to stop off the next station, so you're seeing a little bump in revenue. So that's worked out wonderful, hasn't it? I think it has. Right. Okay. So let's take a look at all of our other lines then. So we sorted out the southern loop, or the southern route, I should say, the southern line. In terms of finances right now, you can see how well that's now technically doing. We've got 2 trains on it, which is, for now, decent. We added more to this cargo line down here, which I think that might be a slight issue. Because, well, it does make a little bit more money. We're running out of wood for it to send over there. It's almost like we needed like an additional stop for it, but I don't know. I mean, it could have a run going down to here back and forth, but it's quite some distance. But we changed the train on that. Worked out fairly well. So let's take a look at the... Let's start with the... Let's start the one that goes from Brighton to Birmingham. Where's that train? Is it here? Yes. Right, now this has got a capacity of 210. And in the finances, it does fairly well. So we're going to edit this train. Now, in terms of diesel engines, we can throw the new one on. Actually, I want to replace it, don't I? So replace it with this puppy here. And then passenger wagons. Now, if I go to where I can afford it, that'll give us a 165 capacity. So I could replace it that, or I could replace it with a 132 capacity and then do 2 of them. But then again, do I have multi-units now? I do. Now, that one's 13 million. Only 59. They're too expensive. That's the problem. They're just way too expensive. Now, if I replace this for 16 million, I would then want to buy another train for it. And that's also going to cost me like 16 odd million. Or, for now, I pay for a 198 capacity train, which will be a lot quicker than what this one is. Let's just do that first then. Let's just do that first. I'll replace the train and the engine. So it's coming into the station anyway, so it's going to be slowing down as it now wiggles through. But it will definitely have a little bit more power. Now, it does mean that I've slightly reduced the capacity, but I've updated and upgraded the train to a newer model. Less carriages. Hopefully less weight. We'll see. We'll see. So, loading up. Only 155 going back this way. And now it's going to go up the long bending route, which it looks like it's tearing through this. Going uphill right now. And the main thing is we've got rid of the mishmash in all the different carriages as well. Now this is what we got to apply to all the other train lines. So next one we're going to be looking at is the Bournemouth to Birmingham route. Now this one also has a mishmash of vehicles and carriages, as you can now see. So it has a 150 odd capacity. So if I was to edit this one and add in this little engine right now, which, can I move this? No. Hold on. I'm going to delete all these anyway. So 151 capacity. So that will cost me 12 million to currently replace. But if I want to do it to the same kind of capacity, 165, I need 14 million. So that's what we're holding out for right now, is 14 million to get that done. Right. So where can we potentially make more money? Oh, how is this doing, by the way? So the ore is still not keeping up. The ore is still not keeping up right now. There's a lot of ore on the platform. Where's the ore train? Here's the ore train. So let's modify and edit this, because there's new gondolas you can throw on it right now, these big ones. So it has 104 capacity, so I add 2 more on. Hoping the train can be able to run the speeds with the extra gondolas. But that will carry a lot more right now, so hopefully it will just keep making bigger cash. So let's see what it does here. So it loads up. Extra 40 odd more now on board. And I want to see how much money it makes when it drops off. So that's the problem I've kind of got right now. Is even though I've got good money coming in, things are currently quite expensive. Things are currently quite expensive. So it's a case of I'm having to now slowly upgrade some vehicles, some trains. We need to change the engine on that, 'cause it really did slow down. We're having to do it in stages rather than replacing the whole vehicle in one. And that's what's kind of taking a little bit longer to expand. But this is now coming down. We've got to change that engine because it slowed down quite dramatically. So here it comes right now. So what are we making? 2.1 million. That's good. That's already good. Another delivery of that would be like making double the amount it normally makes a year. So our new line going through London, finance-wise right now, it's making money. It's making cash, and that's the main thing. So as time goes on, when hopefully I should now buy an additional carriage for it. A 132 capacity, so that will really help us out as well. Now, have we seen a backlog in the vehicles going down? Yes, this one now is non-existent to that junction, which is absolutely perfect. Still coming from Ipswich though, there's still a little bit of a vehicle backlog coming from there. But I think the next big one then is the vehicles. I mean, vehicles going across here. Where are they trying to go? They're all trying to go across this to head up into, which seems to be not many directions they can go in. So what is the traffic issues? Are they just wanting to go straight ahead? Is that what they're trying to do? Oh no, they're trying to turn in. They're trying to go in many different directions, aren't they? It all depends on where they're coming or going from. But it doesn't remove as many as you would kind of want it to move. So I think they're now heading back to go back. Where are they actually heading to, those ones? Are they all just doing loops? Loopity-loops, loopity-loops, loopity-loops? Probably, yeah. Probably what they're doing. I really do want to think about... Guys, let me know in the comment section right now. Should I build the commuter loop? I don't know how I feel about it. But it would be interesting. So, vehicles are moving again. But with there only really being one entry point, it does take a little bit of a while for the movement to happen. If I put that there, does it change anything? I mean, it does mean that I'm losing money on that route as well. But there's still backlogs for days. But it's definitely improved, though. That's the weird bit. It's improved. Now, I know we have to upgrade a lot of the road here and there. But some of it deletes buildings. Why does it delete a building if I'm trying to upgrade it? Oh, okay. Only certain buildings will be deleted. A lot of them get repositioned. So I'm spending some money on upgrading the roads as a way to hopefully enable traffic flow in additional directions. It's just what you've got to do, isn't it? Because they're all picking certain roads for their speed limits. That's the other thing as well you got to kind of look out for. Because you look at all the traffic, it's on the main, bigger, chunkier roads. And it cost me a fortune to kind of adjust some of this stuff. It cost me an absolute fortune. But we're seeing more vehicles using the roads in question. It's like they'd rather go this way round because of the vehicle traffic. It's crazy. It is crazy. But that's where they want to go. That's the problem of a populous city. Look at all the movement now going on. Now they've upgraded the roads. Not saying it solves anything, but you know, it all helps us out. It all does slightly help us out. So, I think we're on the turn right now. I think we've done some good. I think we have slightly done some good. But I want to kind of leave London alone for a little bit. And I kind of want to go back to looking at some cargo routes and setting up other lines to other places. I really do. Because we haven't really touched upon cargo much. I've been spending money like crazy. And for the first time ever, we're losing money in our road routes. And that's because of traffic. But we're turning a profit this year so far. So I think the traffic dying down in London is now starting to work. We've just made the most money ever this year so far at 41.2 million. But look at how much we've been spending. Damn. I'm spending it like it's going out of fashion right now, boys. But yeah, we're seeing some improvements to London. There's a little bit of movement elsewhere, which is aiding the journeys. So I think at this moment in time, that's really what I should look to be doing, is just simply upgrading the roads. Upgrading them where I can afford to aid a little bit of traffic flow. All the way down to there, boys. And you just get more movement going on. Mainly the roads that lead to bridges is a big one that you want to kind of upgrade as well. Okay, can't afford all of it. There's a connection there that would really, really benefit. But one, the connection's not possible. Is the connection here possible? See, that works out a little bit better. Because otherwise you've got to drive all the way down here. So having that in there is a big benefit. But yeah, I'm seeing movement. That's what you don't normally see in London in this game right now, is movement. And we are starting to see it. And that is what is exciting me very, very much. Probably not so much movement down here in South London. But we'll get there. We'll get there. It all comes down to speed limits, these roads, and what they want to do. You could argue I need more bridges. That's another big argument that we've got. How much have I got? Have I got enough money to build said bridge? So if I built one here... and then connect it to there. But then upgrade that road leading to there right now. So an additional bridge could aid some more movement and get them away from this awkwardness of the loop that they're currently running on. M25 is still being used, right? Yep. Now this is the other thing as well. As we start to fix the traffic in London, the M25 will be used less. Not because they don't need it, it's because there'll be less vehicles on the streets. That's the other thing as well. So there are a couple of vehicles going across that bridge, but it does mean that it just puts traffic on the bridge. But giving them more options is very, very beneficial. That's all we can ask for right now. But I'm liking the movement. The movement's pretty good. Makes me happy. Does make me happy, but we got to keep expanding on it, moving on it, getting more connections all thrown in. Yeah. But it's just something that will just take time. It's just something that will generally just take a little bit of time. Because you can use one-way roads as well, one-way medium streets. That's also a way in which you can solve a lot of the traffic pains. Is that a good idea? Because I could create like a big roundabout with all of this. Right, I'll save that for next episode. I might turn one of these roundabouts, one of these bridges into one big roundabout to aid traffic flow. That could be a good way in which we look towards doing this. Very good way. Or terrible. Who knows? Who knows? But we're making cash. We've now made even more cash, 44.4 million. So we're definitely making money. We've gone back to making money on the road vehicles as well, so we are moving. We spent a lot in investments and stuff like that, which if I stopped spending it, I would have made, right? Wow. I would have made like nearly 14 million if I didn't spend it on road investments. Holy moly. We're definitely getting money coming in. I'm liking the fact that I can now see the vehicles moving as well. Yeah. It's happening. This road was all previously backlogged, like ridiculously bad. But it's all happening. Slowly, slowly. And they're using this bridge over here as well. Oh, no way. The Ipswich route is completely cleared. Ooh. I think that's because of the upgrades I did down here. Right, it's coming together, boys. It's definitely happening. We're slowly getting there. Give it some sweet, sweet time. London, target population now 3,000. Oh, this city's never going to end. Until next time, guys, I'll see you all soon. So goodbye.